Now let's talk about Boeing. It is one of the biggest aviation companies in the world, but in the last few years, it's become a dreaded name in aviation. 2 crashes, multiple investigations, and no accountability later, Boeing has now agreed to a guilty plea. It charges the company with criminal conspiracy. What's it about? The probe was linked to the 2 737 MAX crashes, the crashes that killed 346 people. Boeing will now have to pay a fine of $243 million, but by doing this, it can avoid the spectacle of a criminal trial, which raises the question, is this fair? Is this enough? Or is Boeing too big to be held accountable? Our next report tells you.
It was a normal day for United Flight 1001. It was set to take off from Los Angeles. It was heading to Denver. But disaster struck just moments after takeoff. The landing gear wheel fell off. No one was injured. The plane went on to land safely. It's not the first time this has happened. In March, a similar incident happened to another United Airlines jet. It took off from San Francisco, but mid-air, the plane lost a tire. It landed on a car window. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The plane landed safely at Los Angeles. Both these planes were Boeing aircraft. The latest incident comes at a time when Boeing has agreed to plead guilty in a probe into 2 fatal 737 crashes. The first was in 2018. It involved Lion Air Flight 610. 189 people lost their lives. The second was just 5 months later, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. It crashed right after takeoff, killing 157 people. Both the planes were Boeing 737 MAXes. Soon, a probe began into the 2 crashes. Investigators found 2 main things. First, Boeing cut corners in designing the plane. And second, the company deceived regulators. Boeing was accused of risking the lives of passengers. So, in 2021, the company agreed to a settlement. It was worth $2.5 billion, but the company avoided criminal prosecution. Boeing promised to do better, but a recent spate of incidents don't indicate that. On the 5th of January this year, a Boeing 737-9 made an emergency landing. Why? Because the door plug blew out. There was a gaping hole in the plane, in the middle of the air. In May, the US Department of Justice started probing Boeing. It found that the company broke the terms of the 2021 settlement. But Boeing seems to have found a way out. It has applied for a guilty plea. Boeing has agreed to pay a $243 million penalty. It's agreed to independent monitoring. The board of directors will also meet the families of the victims. They will invest $455 million in safety.
I would like to speak directly to those who lost loved ones on Lion Air Flight 610 and the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. I would like to apologize on behalf of all of our Boeing associates spread throughout the world, past and present, for your losses. They're gut-wrenching. And I apologize for the grief that we have caused. And I want you to know we are totally committed in their memory to work and focus on safety for as long as we're employed by Boeing. So again, I'm sorry.
But is that enough? The world has 2 main aircraft manufacturers. One is Airbus. The other is Boeing. The company is also among the top 5 US defense contractors. It employs 170,000 people. So Boeing is one of America's biggest companies. Right now, the company has orders for over 6,000 jets. That means it'll be in production for years. The business is not shutting down anytime soon. Also, in 2022, Boeing got over $14 billion worth of US defense contracts. Basically, it is too big to fail. So, is a penalty of $243 million sufficient? In the last 2 decades, all Boeing has done is chase profit, overlooking safety, which has led to the death of 346 people. Boeing has promised to do better, but that cannot be the end of accountability for the aviation giant.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the show today, the T20 World Cup Bangladesh has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We'll start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost.